Hello, good morning, and welcome to Wednesday, the 15th of April. Man, the internet is very laggy, very laggy, but better than yesterday, that's for sure. All right, so today we have Mercury moving into Aries. That's pretty cool. Like, Mercury's been in Pisces for a very long time. I didn't actually look, but oh my God, Mercury and his let's have a look actually. Let's go back and see how many weeks Mercury has been in Pisces. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I'm in December. Okay. Aquarius. Aquarius. All right. So Mercury has been in Pisces since about no, since the 7th of February. There we go. So February, March, April, 2 months, 9 weeks. There we go, guys. Mercury has been in its detrimental condition for 9 weeks now. So we're looking at foggy thoughts, miscommunication, maybe too many thoughts, like those really big, vast concepts where you can't hone in on things. And of course, we also have the moon in Pisces today. So, this is why I was writing our thoughts and feelings are flowing as one because Mercury is at 29 degrees. All right. So, it is, remember, we're using that packing up the house analogy. So, Mercury's like, shit, I've been hanging out here for 9 weeks and I've got a lot of stuff just laying around. And so today, right now, is the day where you're like, if it's not packed, then it's getting left behind. All right. So at 1:21 p.m., that is Australian Eastern, that is when Mercury is going to move into Aries. So there is communications becoming a lot more forceful. All right. So confident, bravery, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Youthful enthusiasm. Just say the things like you've been probably hesitant to. Oh, I'm not quite sure for a while now. Well, you are sure now, all right. Although Moon's still in Pisces, and that is changing at 12:04 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that's when things are gonna like really start moving forward. All right, so tomorrow's just the title for tomorrow is time for decisive action. All right, so but anyway, we are still on today. So, thoughts and feelings flow as one. Spend the first half of the day thinking about what needs to be done. Write it down. Does that feel right? All right. So here's that manifestation of your thoughts, all right, which is what Mercury doesn't do good in Pisces, which is why we write things down. So then we can rationally look at it and go, does that make sense? Does that feel good? Or is this just like wishy-washy? Anyway, so after 1:30 p.m., that's when you're going to start just doing it, just moving it forward in incremental amounts. So get started. The time for dreaming is almost over. All right. So that time for dreaming is going to be finishing when the moon moves into Aries. And then we've got that massive stellium of Aries. All right. So now the moon is also highly active today. All right. So moon is conjunct Mercury, which is exact at 1 a.m. tomorrow. So all day, even though the moon is going to be moving towards Mercury, even though Mercury goes into Aries, we're still going to have that out of sign conjunction. All right, so this is probably where you're still feeling dreaming. I'm not quite sure. But then Mercury moves, and you can maybe trust your feelings a little bit more, or again, maybe the bravery kicks in, and you're just like, I'm just going to do it anyway. All right, so after 12 o'clock, the moon starts to conjunct Neptune. All right, so there's an hour and 20 minutes where the moon is conjunct Mercury and then also coming up to conjunct Neptune. So still quite wishy-washy as far as we're concerned. All right, after 2 o'clock, it starts to conjunct Mars. Remember, these conjunctions are that's like 10 degrees, 8 degrees. I can't remember what I've got it set on, but that initial period is just oh, okay, I can recognize that feeling change. All right, so that's after 12, Neptune. After 2, starts to conjunct Mars. All right. So now we remember what Mars in Pisces was like because we did so much work with it. All right. So we're still, Mars is past Neptune now. So Mars is moving towards Saturn now. So as far as the bravery goes, again, I'm forgetting that it's the moon I'm talking about, but moon moving towards Mars, uh, with Mercury there, again, I think that thoughts and feelings flow as one. It's the deliberate action that is taken that is going to be the most relevant. Remembering, of course, Mars moving towards Saturn. You know, there is courage required, and I think yesterday I was saying the youth and what would you know, that thing that youths do to, authority or their elders when they haven't had enough experience to know that experience is gold. So so there's that. Now, after 5 o'clock, a sextile to Uranus starts. Now, a sextile is a shorter orb. So between 5 and 11, we've got that sextile opportunity. All right, remember, cogs are turning, but you've got to actually use that hand crank with Uranus in Taurus. So Moon's still in Pisces, has an opportunity to change something to do with finances, comfort, values, security. All right. So, how are we feeling? And, with that, Mercury moved into Aries, we're probably going to be a little bit more courageous. I can't think of the words, a bit more. I'm just going to take that step. I'm just going to do that thing. So, allow those feelings to help you do something new between 5 and 11. All right. So again, I feel like it's a very visceral or body centric type of aspect. All right. So Pisces, our connection, and then Taurus, our senses. All right. So that five, between 5 and 11, I feel like that one's probably going to be in what I'm feeling right now. I feel like it's probably going to be the strongest aspect or the one that you can utilize the most. Anyway, let me know how you go. And then after 8 o'clock, that moon is going to be starting to conjunct Saturn. Again, for us in the southern hemisphere, it's not as, I don't feel like it's as relevant because it's late for us. All right. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, then, that's moving towards your spiritual goals or, um, laying those new foundations. Remember, Saturn in Pisces was all about us reinforcing our boundaries, security, and our base levels of stability, and looking at those traditional thoughts that we've had, Saturn tradition, ground rules. So there's a lot of movement forward. So I hope that wasn't a lot of gibberish for you, but again, the first half thinking, second half doing. All right. Now, the big one is, or the bigger one, the Sun conjunct Chiron. All right, so that is going to be 12:45 a.m. on Friday morning. Friday is huge for us with Mercury conjunct Neptune, Sun conjunct Chiron, and the new moon on the same day, the 17th. So that's going to be big. Now, a statement that I just read this morning, and I can't even remember where I read it. To become a guide, you have to walk through it yourself. And that is Chiron's journey. Like I was saying yesterday, it doesn't have to be all wounded and bleeding and vulnerable. We can just stand in our own power and say, I've been there, I've done that. I've walked through the fires of hell and I've come out with a beautiful suntan or something like that. I've come out and I am just, I might look a bit leathery, but I'm tougher for it, something like that. Probably, I don't want to look leathery, but you know what I mean. All right, and then Venus still not making any connections, um, but shortly she's going to be starting to conjunct Uranus, so that's going to be a little bit of fun. That actually starts on Friday as well. So not only do we have those other aspects on Friday, but Venus starts her conjunction to Uranus on Friday. So a whole lot of stuff today, guys, but most of it, like I said, is your thoughts and your feelings. All right. So you're feeling it first. After 1:30, I think you're going to have the bravery to just start to action these things. And then as the day goes on, you've just got these layer upon layer upon layer of new sort of feelings coming into it. And that could be because you are taking a step forward and you're like, oh, look what I did. I'm so brave. Another step forward. Oh my God, that means so much. So Mercury first, or Mercury now till 1 a.m. After 12, Moon in Pisces starting to conjunct Neptune in Aries. I'm feeling it, and now I know what I'm willing to fight for or willing to put that energy into. Starting to conjunct Mars after 2. All right, that feels even better. I've got a little bit of bravery and courage behind me. I'm going to open up and say more things, or I'm going to do more actions. And then between that 5 and 11, again, a beautiful opportunity to feel in and start to make actual changes based on how you feel. All right, there's that, write it down. Does that feel good? Actually, I skipped over that, didn't I? All right, so the manifesting stuff. All right, Sam, this is for you. You can talk to the universe every single day. And as long as you like, okay, so base statements. What is it you actually want? All right, so the more you feel into it, the more you realize and think about what you want. And then when you write it down and you reread it, then you sense that doesn't feel right. All right, so you can do this every single day. The difference between a billionaire and a millionaire is a billionaire writes their goals out 3 times a day. A millionaire only does it twice. Now, obviously, that is a financial aspect, but why is it any different to any other manifestation that you want to do in your life? There are no eclipses. You can do whatever you like every single day. All right, let me click the button and see who's here. Oh, look at everybody. Good morning, Louise. Shani, how are you? So nice to see you. Good morning, Robin. How are you? Hello, Karen. Good morning, Louise. Oh, excellent, Shani. So good. Oh, your chart. You are just a master manifester. You just haven't quite stepped into it yet. So I love that. We have to catch up soon too. So, I've got cards. I've got cards today, guys. So, just I'm wearing my I know it's not, it doesn't say what is it, oh my God, the Montreal Metros. This is my shout out to Heated Rivalry, which nobody said that they have watched. Not one person has joined me on this Heated Rivalry journey. That is so amazing. I swear to God, I started listening to that book in December last year. It's now April, and I'm still either watching it, looking at reels, rereading it, listening to it. It is so obsessive. It's amazing. So please, if anybody's watched it, let me know. I need my fellow Heated Rivalry people here. Is that a purple top? Oh no, it's electric blue. I don't know. It's just yeah. So Montreal Metros and Boston Bears is the two teams, and then Ilya ends up going to Ottawa. So, come on, let me know, guys. Let me know. Even just one person, has one person listened to it or watched it? All right. Okay, back and present. Oh, that was a very obvious this one. Oh, okay. I like this. I actually really like this card. The Six of Swords. I don't know traditionally what it means, but for me, like the words, thoughts and feelings flow as one. All right. So it's a sword. It's got to do with your thoughts. So spending the first half of the day, all right, up here, thinking about what needs to be done, and then the second half of the day actually doing it. Oh, there we go. We got a thumbs up. The universe said yes. So here you are in the middle up until about 1 o'clock, and then you can consciously veer, turn left, do whatever you want. It's a very conscious change in attitude and experience for today, potentially. All right. Now, usually I would be like, she's on a journey and she's choosing which thoughts she wants to go with. She's releasing those old ones and she's allowing the ones that have worked for her or have been beneficial to guide her forward. Same goes with the Chiron stuff, you know. Ultimately, our Chiron wound, that thing like that we've always had in our experience. So look, I'm just use mine, all right, because I'm past my Chiron return and I'm very open and easy with my Chiron. My Chiron is at 20 degrees of Aries in the second house. So self-worth, all right, value, finances has always been an area of sensitivity for me. All right. So in the lead up to my Chiron return, I made sure that I was doing lots of financial literacy. I was learning, financially educating myself. I was paying attention to what I thought about myself. I did a lot of inner work. All right, so now that the sun is coming up to conjunct Chiron, all right, in Aries, it is still actually conjunct my own because Chiron in the sky is at 26. All right, so it is separated, it is past and wide, but those themes are still there. All right, so what is that original wound in your life? All right, where is Chiron in your chart? And how have you managed to deal with that and turn it around into something that you can embrace, therefore offer your experience to others in need? All right, so there's always that for us it's the matriarchal, allowing the maidens or the mothers into our lives that are needing our personal experience, or just that connection to say you did good, or you're doing okay, keep going, you'll get there, or even, like I'm 2 years past my last cycle. I'm in menopause now. Perimenopause has finished. I'm in menopause. So now I can easily reach out to, the ladies in my group and say, how are you going? Do you know what the symptoms of perimenopause are? Are you struggling with fatigue, heavy cycles, brain fog? you know you are in puberty again, and actually I heard this thing the other day which was so interesting. They were saying that women actually go through two puberties. All right, so menopause is exiting puberty, but you have puberty when you reach adolescence, but then you also go through a like matriarchal type of puberty. As soon as you have a child, your whole body rewires itself, all right, especially your brain. It rewires itself hormonally and chemically to then look after offspring. That's it. Women are like, okay, I have procreated, I now have to look after this little person until they can look after themselves. So I just thought that was really interesting that nobody ever says, you're constantly going through changes, and where are you in your cycle of life? And do you need support? Being a woman is hard. I'm sorry, guys, that if you're listening, you don't have the same. Yes, men go through andropause. Absolutely. That's when they go and trade their wives in for younger models and buy red sports cars, as the trope goes. But you know what I mean? Like, okay, so this is coming back to Chiron and sharing your wisdom and experience with the youth that like moths to a flame come your way. All right. So back to where's your Chiron and how is that being reflected in your current life experience, because Chiron is being activated by the sun. So I just thought that was something else, like I said, Friday is freaking massive, new moon, Mercury, Neptune, Sun, Chiron, and what was the other one? Venus starts her conjunction to Uranus. So Venus starts to get up there with all of these other Aries changes, and she's like, yeah, actually, I'm not loving, she's in her own home, she's in her own castle, but she's moving towards Uranus. Now they have uh oh my God, like I'm looking at, okay, all right. So on the 24th, Venus and Uranus conjunct at 27 degrees of um, Taurus. Now, Venus moves into Gemini that day on the 24th of, where are we? April. And then Uranus moves into Gemini on the 26th of April. So she is moving towards a massive change in her attitude and mindset. All right. So, like, what you're feeling right now could be massive upheaval because we're shifting our view. We're becoming more than we were. We're standing up and being loud and proud. Like there are so many things that are happening in the sky right now, and yeah, you need support. So whether that is my favorite thing, self-care first, because if your cup is empty you've got none to share. So self-care first. Have a look at the things that are starting to make you uncomfortable. Speak up about these things. Be brave and courageous. At the moment we're still a bit feely, but fuck man, when tomorrow comes we're like bull at a gate, horse fire horse leaving the barrier. Like things are just really going to start getting moving. So again, support, reach out, do all the good things. All right. Oh wow. Okay. All right. You need water, hot water bottles and blankets, Sean. Like I remember when I had mine out, I only had it in for about 12 weeks and it was horrific. So oh, okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that feels better too. All right. And yeah, you know what? This is why your hormones are getting. There we go. Shani's a Taurus. Uranus at the last degrees of Taurus. This is about your hormones. Venus rules hormones in Taurus. All right. So, yes, you are perfect timing for a massive hormonal shakeup. Could be like Shani for you. Like maybe you're feeling a little bit. We've been talking about the Aries stuff with high blood pressure, headaches, adrenal fatigue, inflammation, like all those type of things. Well, Uranus in Taurus is going to be doing the same thing with Venus moving there. You could be feeling a little bit more erratic, hormonal disruptions. So again, with the good food, exercise, rest, water, self-care first. All right, so I'll click the button and oh, that's a very long one. So 20 minutes, guys. It's been nice. Good morning, Amy. Oh, I'm so glad you feel better. That's awesome, Shiny. All right, beautiful. So that's me, guys. I am home all day today. So if anybody does need to reach out, my exams start on Friday, so I will be still obviously here in the mornings, but I will also be stepping back from any offering myself out there. So if you do want a quick reading before I go back into hibernation mode, then just reach out, let me know, and yeah, we can talk. So, mwah, love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.